story, everybody. Team ChainBlock coming at you with yet another deck profile, and we're coming at you with a topping Nats profile. Three of us topped at Nats, was it, Sean?
Yeah, three.
3 out of like 6, I think. So yeah, we've done really well. Obviously, we all know how well Rassi done. Ian dropped his profile over 2-deal for skill. Check that out. We were mentioned in that. And Sean topped. Sean, what were you playing?
I was playing Superheavy Samurai. Deck came out right before the event. Didn't have much time to test, but it really pulled its weight.
Yeah, it's probably the deck of the event.
For sure, yeah.
Right, let's get into it.
Right, so it's pretty standard, in the main at least. So the new stuff first, 3 Wakaushi.
Yeah.
Insane card. It's the 1-card starter. It's a pen scale, it's a tuner, it's a free summon. It's everything it could possibly need to be.
It's a super rare.
Yeah, that's it.
We're all shocked about that. And then here comes his best mate.
Yep, so the 2 Benkei. I drew at least one of these every single game.
That's why we play 2.
Yeah. If you draw the 2, it's even worse.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, he's just a scale, and he adds a super heavy soul monster while he's in the scale if you control another super heavy, which is huge. It's like how you do most of your combos.
And obviously they're both insane scales, 1 and 8.
Yeah. And this one replaces itself back in scale after you use it as synchro material. So you always get the pen summon off. 3 Bike.
Great card.
Ridiculous card. Searches anything in the archetype, and it's a level 2 tuner, and it can level modulate any machine monster up by 2.
Yeah, level 2 tuner is just amazing.
Unfortunately, this card is the insta draw. Like the only time, like really good players fear the gamma too much to actually draw you on that. But if you don't actually have the gamma and you get drawled on that, it's the end of your turn. So
yeah, I've seen like a layout where people describe what they hit with their hand traps. And like there were some that said, oh, you hit this with this and you hit this with that, and then this one was just pictured in every hand trap. So yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. If you have a hand that allows for it, you use this as late as possible.
Yeah, exactly.
3 Wagon. It's also technically a 1-card starter.
Yeah.
It's definitely the worst of them, but it's one that you can search and use later in the turn. During like the standard line, you pan summon this, and it gets you extra advantage. It's pretty good. Then for the 1-ofs, you play 1 Scales. You summon this directly from deck. It revives 1 from grave on summon. Very, very, very strong.
Very important.
And 1 Stealthy, probably the most underrated card in the deck.
Yeah, some people didn't play it. I think it's a great card.
It's a free summon, and it can steal an opponent's spell or trap from their grave.
Yeah, that's insane. Because you don't play
the free summon is the main thing. It's just you search this at any point, and it's just another extender. It's really, really good.
It's just funny that it steals a spell or trap because you don't play any.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Is like it kind of mitigates the weakness a little.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it steals it from your opponent's grave, and then it also banishes it when it leaves the field. So into certain decks, that's also pretty good. Then for the souls, you play 3 Piercer.
Yeah.
Non once per turn searcher.
I mean,
heart and soul of the deck, absolutely ridiculous.
Prodigy is the best card of the deck, but it's so closely followed by this.
Right. Yeah. No. It's
insane.
This card is everything.
Yeah, it is. It's everything.
Now here's the main sort of differentiator I have is I play 3 Peacemaker.
Play 3.
The reason for this is you want to draw it.
Okay.
Because you are going to get drawled a lot of the time in this format.
Fair, yeah.
This is how you play around drawl. It summons 1 from deck by tributing a monster you control.
Yeah.
But if you use your search on this, and then you get drawled, you still make something, but it's a lot weaker.
Yeah,
whereas if you open this, you can search something like, say, the Wakaushi, right? And you have the Soul Peacemaker, you get drawled, you can extend far further and make a much better board.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's really good, and you want it every turn. So I don't see a reason not to play 3.
Yeah, I wouldn't play 1.
Certainly not.
No, exactly.
2 is like there's an argument there, but I valued seeing it more.
No, as a person that used to play Superheavy Samurais, I like 3. I mean, we're not spitting out big Benkais, but it's good.
And then 1 Soul Gaia Booster, really good card. When it's equipped to something, it treats it as a tuner, and it's a free summon. So
fair, yeah.
And then the other one, Soul Claw. It's pretty much the same card. It doesn't do the tuner thing, but the reason it's worse is a level 2. But the reason we're playing it is not only is it a different name, but it has 500 attack and defense, which matters because the next card is Ancient Gear Box. You search this off the ballista, it's part of your line, and it adds, usually, the Infinitrack Tunneler, which is really good. It puts back all of your 1-ofs and lets you draw 2. But if you draw the Tunneler, then you want a second target.
No, you don't search it, you just always open it.
I did, yeah. Half of my hands were like this and Benkei and like this.
Yeah, I mean...
incredible card, by the way. This is an Omni, and you attach the Soul Piercer from Grave to it, so when you use it, you get another search.
Yeah, it's great.
I opened this a lot. Never disliked opening this.
Of course not.
It saves you a lot of hassle trying to find it, and if you open this and you get drolled, like, you're actually sitting pretty.
Yeah, it's the best card. It's the best machine card that's come out in years. It's so good.
Then we have the one Jizukiru. Kaijus are good. You like to remove things. Purely's a good deck, you know.
It's searchable, isn't it? Off
it is.
certain
Yeah, I'll get to it.
We'll get there. See, I'm learning.
So that is all of the actual like cards. So now this deck has a huge amount of non-engine space.
It does.
And obviously the restriction is you can't use any spells or traps. So
you're playing
all hand traps.
Yeah.
Triple Droll.
Card Reformer.
Yeah, it's insane. Triple Gamma, the best card in the deck, bar none, and the one driver, of course.
Of course.
Because both Wakaushi and Bike will be used before you have a monster on field.
Yeah.
Not only is this just good on your opponent's turn, but when you're using those, it completely defends them, because those are the points where you're most vulnerable. A Droll on Bike will immediately end your turn, and an Ogre on Wakaushi causes you to lose an insane amount of advantage. So having the Gamma is incredible for that, and also, if you resolve Gamma on your turn, it's an instant Barone.
Yeah, it's insane, because of a certain dragon in this extra deck.
Yeah. Then 3 Ash. I think people are sleeping on just how good this card is this format.
Yeah.
Very, very strong.
No, yeah, people are just talking about Troll, but like Ash is just, if you're a good player, like Sean is, not me, and you know where to hit, like, it's Ash, it's great.
3 Ogre. It's really good this format, especially into this deck. Ogre on Waka is really, really, really good.
Ogre on...
The other thing is Ogre on Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, that's the one.
Ogre on Scarecrow not only gets rid of the Scarecrow, but it means they don't get the summon.
Oh, I didn't know that. I just thought
Scarecrow has to summon to a zone at points too.
I can't point it in the graveyard.
Yep. And finally, 2 cards left. 2 Effect Veiler.
Really?
Just generically good.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's the main. Mostly standard, but...
No, the 3 Piercer.
It's very, very good.
Arna was a Piercer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, I just dropped 1 Veiler for the 3rd Piercer. Didn't regret it at all. Every single hand I opened, the Peacemaker.
Because in the likely scenario that you did like Super Heavy Samurai before this deck came out, that was the best card.
Yeah. So then the extra.
Yeah.
2 Scarecrow.
Yeah.
You have to play 2. I was testing 1.
Yeah.
You need it like 100% at the time.
They didn't believe me.
1 Cleafort Genius.
Here we go.
The negate effect actually came up quite a bit, as did it being unaffected by spell and trap effects.
Oh, yeah, that's gas.
But yeah, the main thing is that when you pen summon to the zones this card points to, you can search a level 5 or higher machine.
Yeah.
So that's either Regulus or Jizukiru.
Jizukiru, yeah, fair. It's gas that card's effect for not being affected was because Quillforge just loved to play Skill Drain.
Yep. Then the 1 Ancient Gear Ballista.
Yeah.
This is another one where the second effect actually came up. So this just searches your box on summon.
Yeah.
And you can chain block it if you make it with the Piercer. But it also says you can target a spell and trap you control on a face-up monster your opponent controls, destroy the one you do, and then make your opponent's attack and defense 0. Really good for OTK, and you just pop 1 of the scales.
Yeah.
IP Masquerena, very good card. Just make it a lot. Nightmare Unicorn, usually what you're making off Masquerena.
Exactly.
Access Code Talker. This deck doesn't really struggle to put up damage per se. This makes it a lot easier, but it's mainly being played for the removal. It's really good at finishing off games in that fashion.
Yeah, and this deck just spits out monsters.
And then Appaloosa, again, because this deck spits out monsters. Yeah. So that's all the links. I wouldn't change that lineup.
Yeah. I swear to God, if Super Heavy Samurais get Ballista banned, I'll cry. It's all we have.
Then we're playing the 1 Excel Synchro Stardust Dragon.
Such a good card.
Insane card. And then the Baron de Floor that you make off it.
Yeah.
This is, you know, mandatory in this deck.
That's why Gamma on your turn is just ridiculous.
And then I'm also playing... You kind of only have 1 slot to play a rank 8. and I'm playing Ninja Saratobi. It wins in time, it outs Baguska,
Right.
and it pops a back row. So
It's great.
it actually really does it all. I don't know why more people aren't playing.
How does it win in time?
So you destroy a spell and trap card on the field, and then burn your opponent for 5.
That's great.
That's a quick effect as well.
Yeah, really good.
Then 1 Baguska, you make
course.
this when you're under draw.
Yeah.
Sometimes you make it when you're not, but that's pretty much what it's for.
It's a bit good.
Then this also isn't standard, I think.
You
but
played them?
I've seen it in the odd one.
Very good.
I play the 1 Springen's Merrymaker and
Yeah.
the 1 Champion Sargus. This is for 2 reasons. Firstly, I value being able to get the Regulus earlier than the Pen Summon.
Yeah.
So I prefer not to search it off the Genius when I don't have to.
Yeah, you can get Regulus much easier than Baron, and it's an ambient gate, obviously.
And secondly, makes this guy with 4 materials.
Yeah, it's just a big
which
juice.
happens. You know, it's pretty relevant.
I mean, Sargas's effect is pretty good in itself, but just
it
4
is,
materials
but
is
we're
only playing the certain amount.
we're
of
not
effectiveness.
playing Exeses that detach
Yeah,
like proactively.
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, if you have like Baguska plus Sargus, you can pop in the standby, but you're not really using it for that so much. And then the side. So let me preface this.
Yeah.
I was testing a lot of different variants of this deck. I ended up just going with a pretty standard one, but because of this, I had a deck list submitted with like a pretty thrown together side, and I did not remember to change it. So
That's where these things happen. Yu-Gi-Oh players forget things.
most of the stuff is pretty good, but there's a couple of changes I'd make. I'll mention them.
Sure.
So 2 Jizakira.
Yeah.
This is just so that you can open it rather than relying on getting all the way to Genius
Fair.
when you're going second.
It's a great
very,
card.
very, very good. 3 Archfiend Eccentric. This is your out to every Floodgate, most notably perform a PAL 5 Rainbow Magician, which in fact I did not encounter all weekend.
Yeah, I think people just got really excited that they found an out, but again, just gonna
This
play.
came up to pop like Labyrinth players' skill drains and that kind of thing
Yeah,
all
that's-
weekend.
That's hilarious.
You know, Grave of the Super Ancient Organisms, all that type of thing.
Yeah.
Very good card. You pretty much side it in every time you're going second. 3 Artifact Lancia.
Interesting.
This is actually a really interesting card because not only is it good into a lot of things this format,
Yeah.
most notably Kashtira, but it can be set.
Yeah, for the 5.
So this
magician.
is your 4th, 5th, and 6th out to 5 Rainbow. Because
Yeah.
under 5 Rainbow you can't really get to anything, so you need to play a certain amount of outs.
Exactly. Going into game 3, like there's 6 outs to it.
Yeah. 3 Contact C. I was testing this and Retaliating C, and just left this one in.
Yeah.
This card should be no material.
Yeah.
Which is essentially the exact same thing, but superior. No material into Super Heavy and Purely completely ends their day.
Oh yeah, purity. Yeah.
And then the last 4. Saryu Spell Canceller. Absolutely mandatory. You don't want to main them because you're not always going first.
I was gonna say
incredible.
Spell Cancer is not worth a main, no?
Nope. And then I would probably just replace these. Right, play that one.
Play this.
1 Underworld Goddess. This was a card I couldn't find room for in the extra in the main.
Yeah.
And I thought there would be more towers at the event, but then I realized like you can kind of just get a kaiju when you need it.
Exactly,
And
yeah.
this slot could be anything else. And then I played 1 Shanowo because again I just had 15 cards listed.
Yeah.
This doesn't actually do anything. The main thing it's for, and the reason I was testing it, is this not only outs Baguska in the same way Saratobi does, by attacking in defense with, you know, more than
Yeah,
21.
more than, yeah.
But it also summons a Super Heavy from Grave as a quick effect.
Ooh.
So during the battle phase, you then revive the bike, and then you can make Barone going straight into main 2,
That's pretty funny.
which is like fine. I wouldn't play it. If I had to recommend, I would replace the Contact Cs
Yeah.
with no materials, and I would replace these 2 with
Whatever.
probably some sort of time win. I would say like Ghost Sister Spooky Dogwood maybe.
Flint Cracker.
Anyway, I was really happy with the deck's
Yeah.
performance.
There we go. Yeah, a bit of an interesting take on Superheavy Samurai. I really like the tree piercer. I think that that's a bit slept on. I think people should play that because, like Sean said, opening it is just great. But yeah, please check the links down in our description. Use our discount code ChainBlock for 5% off. I know Cyberstorm Access is still out at the moment, but that's just our discount code for everything in the future. And that's it. See you.
Thank you.